Recreational Activities in Australia, Part 1. There are a lot of places in and around Sydney that offer activities for people to enjoy. These can be no cost, low cost, or as much as you are willing to pay. A popular activity that costs absolutely nothing is walking. Just put on your shoes, appropriate clothing for the weather, pick up your hat, put on your sunscreen and open your front door. Step outside into the street and start walking. Most areas have footpaths that are safe for you to walk along. There are some hazards, such as bicycles, that share the footpath in designated areas. However, in these days of electric bicycles, be careful that some over-enthusiastic bike rider doesn't come hurtling along to disrupt your peaceful walk and bump into you. That is not to say that all riders are careless, nor do they all ride without thought or care to others using the footpaths. Some walkways are planned by the local councils and offer enjoyable open-air freedom that is safe and pleasant. Parks are found in most suburbs of Sydney. In fact, some council areas pride themselves in the knowledge that they offer a green area, that is a park, within easy access of each and every dwelling in their community. Let's go for a walk in a local park. Keep your eyes open and look at the things, the places, the views and the wildlife that accompany us. The park we'll be walking in is the Lane Cove National Park, which is found in the northern suburbs of Sydney. A national park is an area of land that is protected from any development of any kind. It is an area chosen because it offers an example of unspoilt landscape, an ecosystem of significance, Australian native plants and animals, and places that have cultural significance. The Lane Cove National Park was developed along the banks of the Lane Cove River from around 1937. If you look closely in the video, you'll see examples of the sandstone rock formations that are the geological foundation of Sydney. The Hawkesbury Sandstone, as it is known, stretches from the north of Sydney to just south of Newcastle and northwest to Muswellbrook and as far south as Bateman's Bay. Sandstone is easy to work with as a building material and was used extensively in the early buildings in the Sydney area. Sit back and enjoy the video and listen carefully to the commentary. We enter the park and see it's the Lane Cove National Park, and here we took an excursion. We see the broad expanse of the actual green parklands. Here we see the weir. This is the Lane Cove River, having a weir that was built a very long time ago to prevent flooding of the river. In the river we see some wildlife. Here's a duck looking for food. Over here we can see more animals. More hens will come up. They're the ones with red beaks. They have no webbed feet. And we'll see a duck come and join in, all coming up to us, thinking that they're going to be fed by us. Of course, we're not supposed to feed native animals. It upsets their diet and upsets the ecosystem. The moorhens don't have webbed feet, but the ducks do have webbed feet, and you can see that when the moorhen lands and starts walking up here. Notice the red beak on the moorhen. And here you'll see his feet. They're not webbed, although they're very wide. Standing waiting, not getting anything, mate. And here's the duck. May be able to see his feet. He's pecking around in the leaf litter, which is gathered at the foreshores of the river, just near the weir. Look at the bright green part on his feathers. And here we're going to continue our walk. We're walking along the boardwalk. This is built to assist the environment, actually, to stop people walking on the actual native forestation. Here we can see a bench seat made of timber so that it fits in with the environmental impact. Walking along in the shade, we can see a lot of the native vegetation surrounding the river. And here we can see an example of the sandstone rock that Sydney is built on. Here it's a rocky outcrop, worn away by the river. We'll continue along the walkway. Fence on the left actually stops the main road. If you're walking here, sometimes you can hear the busy traffic. And there's a fern, grown quite tall. Again, this is an example of native forestation. Remember, this is a park, which is why it's quite clear. If we were actually walking in the bush, we wouldn't see all these lovely mown lawns or footpaths. But we can see examples of the native forestation, which the park rangers encourage to grow. We've moved off the boardwalk, which was made of timber, onto a concrete footpath. And along the way we'll see examples of, here, another sandstone outcrop, more vegetation, gum trees and eucalypts, and picnic areas that the National Park Council has put into place to encourage people to use the correct areas. It's quite an overcast day today. It has been raining and it's actually quite cool. If you look closely, you can see a magpie under the tree looking for food. And here we see signposts stating the designated picnic area. You look up the top there and you can see more of the sandstone rock that's exposed to the elements. More native vegetation here as we walk along. Here's another designated picnic area. You look up the top, you can see there's undercover picnic area. And they're in the brick building up there are facilities such as toilets to be used by people. who are picnicking. Here we have a bush turkey, or sometimes called a brush turkey. These are native to Australia, and during the Depression they were used as food, so actually their population decreased. Fortunately, the population is increasing now. The native vegetation, native wildlife in this park are very friendly, obviously being fed by people. Here on the riverbanks we've got some rowing boats for hire. And here you'll see the boat shed, where when the boat shed is open you'll be able to hire a boat. And this is 2023 and these are the current costs. Here's another friendly bush turkey come to have a chat to us. Those bins you see are for the garbage, so that it can be recycled. This is a boat ramp where the boats from the boat shed are launched into the river. And here you can see that we were having a picnic. And it was a covered area. And the picnic playground, children's playground, has some very interesting animals. Models of animals, of course, not real. And as we walk out of the park, we can see a family of ducks. Mother duck, father duck, and ducklings. Father duck is known as a drake. And these are native ducks. They're actually quite friendly. They too don't worry about people walking past. There were quite a few families of ducks as we walked out. I hope you've enjoyed this short journey through just a little tiny part of the Lane Cove National Park. Come down one day yourself and enjoy it.